was always the Jags.
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 Welcome into Always the Jags, your podcast for everything Jacksonville, everything Jaguars, everything Duval. Like, if you thought about what the Jaguars' issues would be this season, we would not have expected two of our biggest issues to be, number one, Cam Little can't kick anymore, and number two, Brian Thomas Jr. can't catch anymore. And again, the inconsistency from Trevor Lawrence is always, it hurts. But like, we thought Brian Thomas Jr. would be fixed after the Texans game. And he kind of was. You know, after he had that big catch, it was kind of like, okay. And then the Chiefs game, Travis Hunter kind of broke out a little bit with some big catches, and Brian Thomas Jr. came along. And he had some drops, but those were like harder catches. But we still won. So it was like, you know what? Fine, we're good. Seahawks game. It felt like, okay, Brian Thomas Jr. is back. Yeah, we did lose, but he was making plays up and down the field. He had 80 yards and a touchdown. Should have had a 61-yard touchdown called back on a penalty caused by this much of Travis Hunter's toe. This much had it called back. And so it was kind of like, okay, maybe he's better. And then he has that one drop at the end of the Seahawks game. And suddenly he's reverted back. Because we saw in this Rams game, he had 2-3 drops. And there were tough catches. Don't get me wrong. But like, I don't know. The difference is like, if Brian Thomas Jr. was already being paid wide receiver one money, I would be a lot more upset because it's like, you're supposed to be a wide receiver one and you're dropping passes like this. Maybe he was just mischaracterized as a wide receiver one. And that's, not necessarily on him, but maybe the pressure, the spotlight, whatever it is might be too much for him. Okay. We treated him like a wide receiver one, but it's not like we paid him like one. You know what I mean? Like maybe he's just a wide receiver too. Maybe that's just the way it is. Maybe those types of catches, you can't expect him to come down with them every single time because there are guys like that who do, and those guys get paid. But then we have Trevor Lawrence, who we are paying like he's the number one quarterback. And number one quarterback hit guys in the chest with the ball when it's time to make an easy play. Matthew Stafford, he didn't miss a single throw in this game. At least one that, so Matthew Stafford did miss throws, don't get me wrong, but they weren't wide open when he missed them. It was more like he threw it and it kind of hit the ground or something like that. But even so, the throws that Matthew Stafford missed, his team was still able to put up 35 points. And no drops for the Rams. No drops. No drops. And then Cam Little, what happened to his leg? Like, he hits a 70-yarder in the preseason. He hasn't hit a field goal in almost, it feels like 3-4 games because he missed one in the 49ers game. And then I can't remember if he hit one in the Texas game. And he did hit one in the Chiefs game. But then he missed it in the Seahawks game. And then he missed the extra point here. The extra point. No, he missed the extra point in the Seahawks game. And then he missed the field goal. And then he missed the field goal again in this game. And it's like we had so many trips to the red zone where we could have gotten points. And just not having that confidence, even I think at one point the Rams were up like 17, not 17, it was like 14 something, 14 zip. And I don't know if they went up 21 before we had the chance to kick the field goal or before Cam Little missed the field goal. But 14-3 is a lot different than 21 zip. If you're able to go and just kick that field goal and make it, 14-3 feels way different. Maybe next time we drive, we go down and we get a touchdown, and then our defense forced like 5 3-and-outs in a row for the Rams, which is perfect for our offense because a 3-and-out keeps the clock in our favor when you're down. But we couldn't do anything with it because either guys wouldn't catch the ball, Trevor missed them with the throw, or we had a penalty. And it's so frustrating because you wouldn't think that these would be the issues plaguing us. Like, we kind of thought our offense would be high powered and we thought we might be let down by our defense this year. But it's the exact opposite. And again, I want to believe that Trevor is the guy. I want to believe it so badly. You don't even know. Like every time Blake Bortles played well, I was always skeptical. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He's played so rough in the past. I don't know. I don't know. And even after that 2017 season, I didn't want to resign him. I was like, let's go draft Lamar Jackson and let Blake Bortles finish out his contract, and let's instead re-sign Allen Robinson. That's what I wanted. And we re-signed Blake Bortles. Trevor Lawrence makes 3 times what Blake Bortles has made. Trevor Lawrence's deal right now is 3 times higher per year than Blake Bortles. And he got that in 2018, the year Lamar Jackson was drafted. Obviously, quarterback contracts have exploded since then, but Blake Bortles got $18 million a year. Trevor Lawrence is getting $55 million a year. 18 times 3 is 54. He's making triple than what we signed Blake Bortles for in the expanse of, 7 years later? 7 years later. Is Trevor Lawrence 3 times better than Blake Bortles? That's a question we all kind of have to look at. And it's a tough question. But like playoff wins, how many does Blake Bortles have? 3. Because wild card, divisional. No, he has 2. Wild card and divisional. How many does Trevor Lawrence have? 1. It's a tough question we got to continue to look at. And it pains me to say it, but now both have led the Jaguars to the playoffs the same amount of times. Now, if Trevor gets to the playoffs this year, he'll have more playoff appearances than Blake Bortles. And if he gets a win, he'll have more playoff wins than Blake Bortles. Well, if he gets 2 wins, right? If we somehow make it to the championship. But you just, even if that level, you just don't get blown out like that. And something's got to change. And again, I don't feel like I'm ready to give up on Trevor, but this season is going to be very telling. And I think this season, and I think the last half of the season, basically, if Trevor continues playing the way he's playing right now, if something doesn't click for him, because in 2022, we were all waiting for the moment to click for him, and it clicked somehow in the Ravens game, and he went nuts. And then for the rest of the season, it was like a Cinderella story, and we made it into the playoffs. And it's like, it kind of feels like we're waiting for that to happen again, but to take the next level. But it's not like before, he wasn't making plays at all. Now we're just waiting for him to make consistent plays. Like, you make the plays down the field, but just don't do it when it's too late. Do it now. Do it when we need it. And if it keeps going the way it's going, I mean, he won't end up being the guy. And we'll lose a lot more games. So he won't have an opportunity to prove it in the playoffs. Thank you so much for watching Always the Jags. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. Check out some of these other videos that I'm sure you'll be interested in as we chase Duval greatness. Thank you for joining us again, and until next time.